What up, my friends? How you doing? It is Tuesday night, and it's time for some chillin'. So, first things first, as is always the case, gotta share them links. All right, let's see here. Okay, there we go. That's good. Switch that up. There we go. All right. What up, Gossett, Farky, Jess, Watermelon, Teferi, Sandwich, David, Millmaster, Ang, Rays, Sum, Juglum, Brent, Zircon, Lowbrow, Yamagoro, Fisher. I think I got everybody. Hello. How you guys doing? How's life been treating you? What up, John? Something extra satisfying about the water tonight. Don't know what it is, but I ain't gonna complain about it either. What up, Aura? What's going on, Balder? How you doing? How is life treating you on this evening? It's been a pretty good day overall for me. Oh, you know what? I started doing this, and then I started thinking about, we were talking about it yesterday. John Travolta as the crazy fanatic, rubbing his ears up and rubbing other people's ears and smelling it. It's so just absolutely bizarre. Brent, you think sharing them links sounds dirty? Well, maybe it's your brain that needs scrubbing, because it's a pretty innocuous statement overall, man. Fisher, you got some textless ergus. the the Timu version, the Wish version of Urza. It's Urga Slaga. What the hell is this? Oh. Got yourself a textless Urza's Saga. See, I can say it. I did it. I did it. What up, Tube? How you doing, buddy? Itchy ass nose. So yesterday I decided, we talked about a number of movies, and since I found out that the guys who made Super Troopers had made one movie I hadn't seen, I was like, I'm going to go and check that out. So I checked out the Slammin' Salmon, and man, is that a very middle-of-the-road movie, right? It's got a few comedic moments that drew a chuckle or two from me, but it's a far cry from the Super Troopers magic, It was like, That's how I felt when I watched it. I was like, okay. All right. I did think it was funny. They had the guy from Heroes in the movie randomly. I was like, oh, I remember this dude. I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember what he was from until they had the outtake at the end where it was like, last time on Heroes. I'm like, that's what I know him from. I don't know why when I saw him, I'm like, I know this guy was in something I watched, but I completely forgot about it. Heroes was a really cool show. It did go off the rails there once they got to the circus part of it or whatever, but it was really cool. I quite enjoyed it and look forward to each new installment. Brent, you've cracked the code, buddy. You have cracked the code. That's you figured out the reality. Farky, will I put jugs on the Plinko? I mean, the Plinko's already set up. So let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see if there's oh, look at that. There's multiple jug options. I see both Grand Archive and the Goddess Story. So yeah, it's got Juggaluggins on there, bro, in multiple variants. After all the noir talk, the algorithm told you The Big Lebowski is a spoof of an old noir movie called The Big Sleep. Huh. All right. I've heard of The Big Sleep, but I don't know anything about it. Oh, it's super old, eh? All right. It's something like the 40s? Wow. All right. Well, I have absolutely no concept of whether that has anything to do with The Big Lebowski, but The Big Lebowski is an amazing movie. I very much enjoy that film. Like, I've watched it a ton of times, and it delivers every time and doesn't have a bunch of, like, jarring errors in it that ruin the experience. You finally watched Zack Snyder's Justice League on the weekend? It was so long, it's on 2 discs. Well, yeah, that is huge, man. I heard that... I think I started watching it and then just kind of got disinterested and left. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I didn't care about the original that much, so... I don't know. Did you like it? Did you have a good time with it? Broken, you like the funeral hall room? I don't know if I've seen that one. The most recent room card that I saw was the hidden arcade card. It's the same story without the comedy. Oh, okay. All right. So it's just a guy trying to get his rug back, but no jokes. Well, The Big Lebowski without any comedy doesn't sound appealing to me, honestly. Bren, you got poisoned by the sun. That's no good, bro. That's no good. I feel you. I gotta wander around with like a long sleeve shirt on when I'm out in the sunlight, so it's pretty annoying. Juglum, you want to remake a Howard the Duck? I feel like if we were gonna get a Howard the Duck remake, it would have already happened. You know, they tease that at the end of one of the Marvel videos. Like one of the Marvel movies ended with Howard the Duck. But I don't see it happening because it feels like Marvel is sort of swirling the drain right now, right? Hey, Kenzuki, what's up, bro? The first room deals 1 damage when creature dies. Oh, yeah, no, I've seen that. I saw that. I remember now. Olivier, do I think vintage magic has a chance to come back in style? I mean, how would it? Really? You know, like it's more expensive than ever. It costs more than ever. And Wizards of the Coast, like as they're bringing new people in, these new people are just getting adjusted and acclimated to the weird, wacky, crazy, power corrupt world of Magic the Gathering, right? So no, I don't really see vintage ever flourishing because it's got limitations on the card supply inherently, right? I guess the only way vintage could come back is everything gets power crept to the point where nothing from vintage actually matters, and then would you want to play vintage, right? Like, I don't even know. Fisher, you're excited to build a toy deck? All right. Kansuki, no, I did not see the Kickstarter to revive Overpower. I honestly barely ever see anything about any Kickstarters. Brand, I don't think that the Room WinCon card is actually going to make much of an impact, honestly. There you go. Millmaster summing it up. Vintage Magic is like classic cars. It's almost all for old guys. It's only downhill as the old people die off. Right? Like that's it. That's 100% what the old school Magic stuff is like. People like me have amazing memories of the old school goodness, but that was 30 years ago. That was 30 years ago, which is a million years ago, right? So I do very much believe that most people aren't going to have any interest in like vintage Magic. Maybe an occasional hipster, you know? You know what, Broken? There's a point as well, right? Talking about like this deck can easily cost 7, 10 grand, and do you just want to wander out of the house with that many valuable possessions that if somebody ends up with them, there's no way to prove they were yours in the first place, right? Splendor, would a special tournament help? I mean, it might make some more people aware of vintage, but why would you even start? Why would you even start if it was like, okay, to start this, before we move on to standard and other formats, you need to spend $10,000 to play in vintage. Like unless everybody embraces proxies 100%, vintage is not coming back, right? There's no chance. There's no chance of that. Farky, you don't understand why with all of Hasbro's money, why they haven't set up their own card factories. What do you mean all of Hasbro's money? Hasbro is leaning on Magic for all of its money. And the cost of setting up like a card production facility, you need to have that thing going all the time. They need to be making cards for everybody else. That's a lot of money and a lot of work. So it's way easier for them to just offload that onto other companies. It's not profitable for them to be actually producing the stuff, right? Martin, you're old and you're going to keep your Power 9 until retirement. Well, there you go. Although you might, depending on when retirement is, you might want to rethink that, and you might want to pay attention to where the market's going and everything, because there seems to be this pervasive mentality that reserve list stuff like just can't go down and will only go up, especially with the old Power, but there's nothing actually backing that. It's a bunch of like make-believe and wishery, Like if I just wished, hey, I'll have $100,000. It's like that, where there's not always going to be buyers for this stuff. Like try and unload a whole ton of old school like Elvis and others. Like at a certain point, the market for this dies off. The market for what it is you have dies off, right? So who knows where the actual height is? I have no fucking clue. I have no idea where we hit that point, but it's an inevitability, right? Ataxio, vintage for you is remembering walking into a Wizards of the Coast store and buying Urza's Legacy boosters. You came to the party late, but not that late. You're still in the 90s, bro. You're still in the 90s. Splendor, you're saying that they print Magic in North Carolina? I heard it was a facility in Texas, actually. You watched the Snyder Justice League cut so you could watch The Flash with the Michael Keaton Batman. Wasn't that Flash nightmarishly bad? And you don't have to watch the Snyder cut beforehand to watch that movie, right? Yeah, exactly, Brent. Cost of entry to even get into vintage is what hobbles it 100%. Hinoko, you got in an Onslaught. Balder, you got in during Dragon's Maze. Ew. Well, at least you didn't have other sets to compare it to, right? Like, I guess if you're going to mess around with Dragon's Maze, having it being the only thing that you mess with, right, makes it feel less distasteful. Because Dragon's Maze was really underwhelming. Although the pre-release for it was pretty cool. Ataxio, who cares? If you knew what those magic boosters were worth or whatever, how would that have changed your future? You might have been hit by a car on your way to sell the cards. Any number of different things could have happened. Could completely alter. Also, if you can just go back in time and know about the value of things, why would you keep your cards? Wouldn't you go back in time, sell off your cards, and use it to buy stock that's going to multiply the value? Like, all it ever equals is, I wish I had more money right now. That's all it ever means. I wish I knew all the things that were going to be valuable and bought them all. I wish I won the lottery. It's the same difference. There's no difference. It's just, I want more money right now. Me too, bro. I feel you. Me too. But it's a pointless thought process. Because even if you go back in time, why would you keep the fucking magic cards? There's just smarter things it's about the money. You care about the money, not about the cards. You're not like, oh, I really miss those cards. I wish I had those cards. It's all based on, I wish that I kept objects that currently have value that I can sell. So it all just equals, I wish I had more money. That's it. It's real simple. Millmaster, you think the reserve list formats are somewhat buffered against Wizards? Nothing's buffered against Wizards, bro. They're scattershotting insane power now to the point where you saw Oko getting thrown down right beside Black Lotuses. There's no buffer from Wizards' power creep insanity nonsense. There's no shielding, none of it. None of it. Sheldon, how was my day? Something fucking transcendent happened today. Something amazing that literally had me standing there pretty much not like jaw agape externally where I was like, but internally jaw agape, astounded, filled with wonder, glory, and just overall amazement. And it was awesome. It was awesome. Splendor, that won't solve it either. Like, if you reverse it and just go, I'm going to start with standard and then we'll move all the way up to vintage. To compete in the vintage, you still have to fucking pay whatever to have the deck to play against the big expensive decks. So that end prize is like you already had to spend all the money. The barrier to entry is still there. The barrier to entry is still there. And if somebody who didn't care about vintage went into one of these sequences, when they won the expensive deck, they would sell the cards. So there's no universe where vintage becomes more popular. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Broken, you started with Portal. Ew, gross. The set for dumb kids. I remember when Portal came out. I'm like, I don't need no stupid baby magic. Olivier, if you think of your fucking cards as an investment, then make the right decision about when you're going to fucking cash out is all I can say. Because viewing random cardboard rectangles, look, man, this one doesn't matter, but I got one with a flower on it, that's my retirement. Like, that's insane to me. Oh, Ballwagon Super Chats is asking you shall receive. Number 4, please. All right, buddy. Hold on. Let me put you up on the board. And then we'll drop in slot number 4. Yeah, modern is completely rotated by each modern set they put out now. That's how they're doing things. But the acting like, oh well, you know what? This is better because this place isn't as hit by the storms quite as much. It's like nobody considers it a fucking safe harbor. The people who are there are already there. Nobody is fleeing to vintage. That does not happen. Nobody's fleeing from modern to vintage or legacy. There is no nominal amount of people doing that, right? So it's just the reality is nothing is safe from the reaches of Wizards, and they will outpower the reserve list cards. It will happen. There's no way it won't. If Magic doesn't die, it will get to that point. Okay, let's do a slot drop in for Bo. Number 4, yo, here we go. What do we got? Oh! Nope, not the theme booster. Okay, we got Alchemical Revolution from Grand Archive. Okay. Let's look for some sweet jugs and some powerful cards. What up, ape? All right. Bam. Here we go. Oh, Cardboard Splendor Super Chat says, my kid memory. A friend showed me signed cards of Alpha Beta, so I gather it was much like Sicker today, all about artists. Then you returned around Odyssey. Signed Alpha Beta cards. That's pretty cool, man. Thanks for the Super Chat. Instead of Sicker, you gather it's much like Sorcery today. all about the artists. Yeah, the artwork in Sorcery is amazing. Also, pick a drop slot, because after we do this booster pack, we're going to do a Plinko drop for you, big boy. Let me focus up the camera first so we can appreciate the jugs that are about to be bestowed upon us. Dear Heavenly Jugster, show me the fat jugs. Okay. Yeah, we got to focus this up. All right, there we go. That's better. That is better. Okay. Let's go. Splendor, you're picking number 6. All right, cool. Oh, Tool Using Ape says, his super chat says, any slot above a booby pack. Okay, so that would be slot 2, 3, 5, or 6. So choose 2, 3, 5, or 6. What's with this pack in particular? What up, Shelly? That's right, Nick. A lot of things only have value because of demand. And the demand for old Magic cards is going to decrease, not increase. All right, so we got Spirit of Fire. This is just like a regular... Isn't this just the regular? Oh, well, whatever. Okay, Scry the Skies. Nope. Some Dude. Plea for Peace. A piece of them jugs. All right. You go in the jug pile. Healing Aura. You go in the jug pile. We got Enchaining Gale. What a weird name. Hold on, I got to get closer up on the artwork here. The chains are in the way. I'm going to put it in the non-jug pile. Barter Herbs. Who wants some herb, yo? All right. Jug-a-luggin. Oh, a jug robot. Those are just gigantic flashlights. Oh, just a building. Oh, Rhyme Soul Bishop. Look at you. Now she looks nice. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. What? What? Fatty Boombalatti. Get on up out of here, fat boy. Attune with flames. The flames are attuning with their jugs. Oh, this is the rare. 6 mana. Class bonuses cost 2 less to activate. So if you're a guardian, it costs 2 less. Activate this only during an opponent's recollection phase. Target guardian weapon you control gets +5 until the end of your next turn. Huh. Seems pretty limited in its particular application, but that is a big power boost. All right, I don't know. I don't feel like that's going to be a big snazzle rare, but we did get a decent amount of jugs in that pack, so not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. All right, Splendor has chosen 6. Ape has chosen 5. Let's do some more Plinko drops, yo. All right. So 6 first and then 5. All right, we got more. Oh, put this over here. We got more of the Grand Archive action. I'll pick that up. Whatever. I'll put it. It's gotta be up now, right? We're doing another drop. I forgot. So I was gonna be lazy. Okay, here we go. This is 5. Oh no! Wow. Okay. I keep thinking that this box is so big that I keep thinking, damn it! I keep thinking things are falling behind it, but they're not. Stay up, you dirty hooker. Let's see if I bend this a bit. Ha! I got them skills. Okay, so we got 2. We got 2 packs to check out. That guy was a champion hot dog eater. That's funny. Okay. Bam and bam. So this was the first pack. That's right, Splendor. I've got 3 camera angles. We're taking it to the next level. Right to the root, big boy. The mana root. That ain't no jug, though. Oh, excoriate. Look at the fat rack on her. Hell yeah. Hold on. Enhance. Oh, wait. Will that mess up the camera focus? No, it still looks good. Okay. All right. Whoop. Then we got... yeah, you're not really bringing it. Some dude. Oh, an armored Valkyrie. She's looking cute. She's got some juggage. Sharpshooter, you're also bringing some juggage. Crusty dude, get on out of here. Distilling the crust, I bet you are. Empowering prayer, I can see them jugs. Enhance hearing. Whoop-de-doo, get out of here, buddy. A supply drone. Whoa, Sea Sprite Diver. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. All right. And then Battlefield Spotter is our rare. Look at that. She got a big old shelf. So what is this? 2 cost, Ranger Human. When it enters, another ally you control becomes distant, emotionally distant. And then level 2 plus, other units you control gain ranged 1. Okay. All right. That seems not too bad. Not too bad. And we got a lot of jugs in that pack, Splendor. Well done. Well done. Now, Ape, it's your turn. It's your turn. Let's see what's in this one. Parky, you're all in on the Goddess Story cards, huh? The bit that we opened was enough to really cement that for you. All right. Hey, don't be saying all sausage pack. No. No. If this isn't all sausage pack, because you said that, you're getting timed out. All right. Oh, you're lucky. We're starting out with some jugs straight out the gate. Trainee level jugs, but still jugs. Then some dude doing surgery, some dude running, another dude behind the shield. There's a fair bit of sausage in here. Oh, never mind. Fat racked red wizard. Let me show you my Final Fantasy, honey. Okay. Partial palatial concourse. Whoop-de-doo. Wave Rider Protector. Oh, our jugs have eyes on them. Hey, we got a foil. Every foil I get is common, though, but whatever. I'm sleeving up my foils for this game. Okay. Some random dude, though. All right, Meltdown, which is what I would have had if this was all sausage. Winds of Retribution, the winds I would have rode if this was all sausage. And then Comet Fall. All right, what's this do? 5 cast, Star Calling 2. Deal 3 damage to all non-Astra element units. If you're a cleric, instead do 4 damage to those units. Oh, okay, so it's a big board blast. That's all right. Petri, what's the rarest card in this game? Pff, I don't know. I know very little comparatively about Grand Archive, bro. I'm definitely not an expert in every card game. I know enough to understand the cards when I read them. That's the level I'm at. I've played it enough to understand the cards that I'm reading, but I couldn't tell you what the best card is from any set, let alone, like, I know the most expensive cards are collector super rares, which are basically like the equivalent of signed versions of your deck's commander. And those are exceedingly rare, but fetch crazy prices. There's some people who play Grand Archive that spend big money on cards. Like, you can win cards at the championship that people will buy for thousands of dollars, which is amazing to me, honestly. Like, The fact that Magic the Gathering, people pay money for Magic the Gathering singles, it's like, yeah, game's been around for 30 years, all that, I get it. Like, it's still kind of crazy at all that people spend money on individual cards, but I know because I'm a part of it. But when it comes to other games that haven't been around for as long, it always surprises me when they can command such high price tags, you know? Teferi says the best card has the biggest jugs. That's what we're here to learn, guys. We're here as scientists trying to improve humanity. And to do so, humamery. We've got, which is a combination of human, memory, and mammaries. So that's the top. That's what we're looking for. Juglum Lorraine Blade Master was a Kickstarter exclusive, so it's one of the rarest cards. Fair enough. A lot of the restricted material cards are high dollar, like the armor and equips. Well, that makes sense. The most powerful cards are probably going to be the most expensive, right? The game hasn't been around long enough for there to be like nostalgia value cards. Fisher, yeah, Valentina from Force of Will has a huge rack. She wears that big fat boob sock in a bunch of her artwork. She's crazy. That's right, Hanoko. That's what we're here to do, buddy. That's what we're here to do. How can you sell singles when all the cards are stuck together? You just gotta know how to market it. It's like every purchase comes with terrestrial DNA. Terrestrial essence. Every purchase comes with terrestrial essence. Okay? Synthesized protein. I synthesized it in my ball bag. So stupid. Petri, I never gave a shit about the Star Trek card game because my buddy went ahead and tried to get me into the game, and he gave me a deck. And he obviously didn't understand the rules of teaching somebody like how to play a game. Don't raffle stomp them. Don't give them a noob deck that can't possibly compete and then beat the piss out of them. Where it was just like, okay, I got this card that lets me make you discard a card every turn. And it's like, okay. I also have this card that when I put it out, I get 2 turns for every 1 turn you get. And I'm just like, what? Like stuff that sounds broken by Magic standards. And then I'm like, do I have that in my deck? And he's like, no. And I'm just like, okay. So my deck was just a bunch of jank. And his deck was OP. And he beat the piss out of me and had so much fun doing it. And he was like, see how fun the game is? And I'm like, bro, that was awful. Like, you have everything. I have nothing. I'm not going to spend any money on this game. In fact, you may as well just take the deck back because I'm never going to play this game again. And he was dumbfounded. And it's like, what would make you think that that was a good experience for me? You know, like, this is not how you bring people into a card game. Hey, here, you had a shitty time and you suck at it and have garbage. Oh, okay. We're going to play war. Hold on, I got 2 Uzis and a bazooka. Here you go. Here's a couple of sticks. Ah, it's so much fun shooting you full of holes. Did you enjoy yourself? No. Why not? Well, you had force fields that took my sticks away, and you just shot the shit out of me. And I didn't do anything. Yeah, but like, I had fun jerking off on your chest, bro. So like, wasn't that like, it was good for me. Okay. I'm glad you had fun this one time. We'll never play this game again together. And I assume you're trying to get me into it because not many people are playing it with you. So you made a huge mistake. You made a huge mistake. You always let the noobs win. Or if you're going to make them lose, at least give them a real game so they feel like they were in it. Fake it. Fake it, bro. Fake it. Splendor, you made a mistake. You picked up a decree of savagery. Graded slab? Can pull up decree of savagery for these fellas. Okay. All right. Because you super chatted and because you hosed yourself, people won't understand how bad you got yourself if they don't see the card. So sure, why not? Good Lord. I actually had this in my cube for a while. It was okay a long time ago. It's not okay at all now. Okay, let's pop this into here. There it is. And bam. Okay, this is Decree of Savagery. 10 mana for an instant. Put 4+1/+1 counters on each creature you control, or it cycles for 6. And when you do that, you can put 4 counters on one creature. Why did you get this card, bro? What on earth possessed you to get this awful piece of jank? Why? Petri Betazoid gift box. Was that the card that let him take double turns for all my turns? And then he just had some kind of spindle or something that made me discard every turn. So he got to take 2 turns to every one of mine and then made me discard a card on each of his turns. And it was just like, this is so OP and dumb. Like, so OP and dumb. Is there a way to cheat what out? Is there a way to cheat this out? I mean, even if there was, why wouldn't you play any other instant? At 10 mana, a card needs to win the game, right? Like, it needs to win the game. This is like a crappy overrun. It's really, really janky. 6 mana to put 4+1/+1 counters on a creature? No. Whoop-de-doo, you got to draw a card. It's awful. Just awful. Farkey, you can get a Nearman copy for 79 cents, but get it graded. Get it graded. How much did you pay for it, Splendor? Shotter was the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Did they do draft? Yeah, that's right. They were the last ones to have the draft boosters. Play boosters came in after that. 100%. Oh, that's right, Drac. I said 10 mana, but it's 9 mana. You're right. You're right. Yeah, many, many years ago, it made the cut in the cube, but by today's standards, it is not powerful enough for the cube. Like, you can get more impressive cards than this by like a large margin. By a large margin. So, ultimately, I mean, even in decks that care about +1/+1 counters, right? It's just like, there's just so many big boost cards now that are like so much stronger. You know, 6 mana, what's Colossification? 7 mana to give like +20/+20 to the creature? Wait. Hold on. You're saying you made a mistake, you bought a slabbed one. And you're saying you got it for the art, you like it as inspiration to work out. So, you just thought the card cost $25 and screwed up and bought a slabbed one? Like, how is this the mistake? Just admit the truth, bro. Just admit the truth. You want to fucking beat off on the card, so you got it slabbed, so when you fucking white blast his abs, you can just fucking wipe it off. Just be real with us. Tell us the fucking truth. It's okay. It's 2024. You're allowed to fucking want to blast on dudes' chests now. Nobody's gonna fucking throw you in prison. You know, nobody cares. It's just be yourself. Say you fucking bought it slabbed for these beef slabs to slab your slab on the slab, you know? Oh, Drac rubbing salt in the wounds. Why not just get a poster printed? It probably would have cost less. Oh man, $25 though. You got taken for a fucking ride, man. You you got taken for a ride. What up, Thompson? How you doing, buddy? How was my day? My day was great. I had something ridiculously amazing happen. Me and Carly went for a walk down by the waterside, which is it's a nice place to go for a walk. Actually, there's a lot of nice waterside places in this whole area. You can go down to Port Dalhousie. There's all kinds of different places you can go down by the 12 Mile Creek. Lots of fun watery locations. But anyways, we're down by the waterside just chilling out. And this is where there's like a marina for boats and stuff. So we heard a loud motorboat coming, right? And it was like, that guy's motor is loud. Like, it was so loud that at first I thought it might be a plane or something. Because I'm looking up in the sky like, is that a plane? But we both agreed must be like a motorboat on its way over to the marina or something like that. And then all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, there was a flying man. There was a flying man in the sky. He was just sitting on a fucking board with a fan strapped to his back, and he had like a fucking parachute glider thing. He was just sitting. He was just sitting in the sky. It was like half of a chair with a fan stuck to the back, and he was fucking flying on it. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It's straight out of like the black and white era movies where you see those biplanes and shit with 7 different wings of people trying to learn how to fly. Like, did this guy come through a fucking time warp? Is this legal? You can do this? This is amazing. He like fucking flew around the marina, and then like it looked like he was about to go down into the lake, bro. I thought he was going to go down into the lake. He's heading straight towards it. And then he just curved around and flew back up into the sky. And I stood there enchanted. I couldn't believe it. I've never seen anything like it. I followed. As he left, I followed. And I'm like, please come back. Please come back, flying man. That was amazing. That was amazing. It was incredible. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And then after we left and we were heading back, I thought I heard him again. I'm like, is that him? And I stood there staring, rapt with attention at the skies. And it took a long time for it to click into my head that it was a lawnmower. And I'm just like, oh, I made myself stand here like a fool for a lawnmower. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was so cool. It was so cool. Like, for real, I couldn't believe it. Where I was positioned too, it was perfect. Me and Carly were just sitting on the bench talking, and then he just flies into view. And I'm just like, that's a fucking flying man. Oh my God. He's just on part of a chair with a fan strapped to his back. This is like the most badass shit ever. Carly pointed out before that too. She's like, it's a very still day. Like, there's no wind. Look at the water and stuff. So we were talking about how still the day was. And then this guy just flew out of fucking nowhere. Like he came through a time warp. Like with a time machine. So cool. So very cool. It was awesome. Hoff, you're right. It was nice. I loved it. I loved it. It genuinely made me happy. It's one of the most incredible things I've seen in a very, very long time. One of the most incredible things I've seen in my life. I mean, in real life. You can see incredible things online, but there's a distance between you and the event, right? But this was literally, like, he was not that far. I probably could have yelled at him. I should have yelled up, "You're awesome!" Because that's what I wanted to do. Afterwards, I was like, I should have said, "This is the best!" Maybe he would have come back around. Stood there for a long time, listening to him go in the distance, and then saying to Carly, I think it sounds like he's getting louder, but it was probably him just moving back and forth further down out where he was. It was so cool. I was like, do they have to like log a flight plan when they go and do this kind of stuff? Like, are you even allowed to do this kind of stuff? It's so dope, man. It's so dope. That seems like really cool. And it doesn't even feel like it's too. It doesn't even feel like it's too crazy in terms of danger levels because you've got the glider. So if your fan stops working, then you're still going to be able to slowly glide down, right? Like, it's amazing. Splendor, I figured the same thing. I figured like must have to register this on some level. You can't just fly, or you just can't be the flying man. He's just sitting on a board with a fan strapped to his back. It's so badass. It's so cool. It's so cool. I wish I knew who that person was so I could tell them how fucking cool they are, right? Like, so good. I loved it. I loved it. It was awesome. I hope that I never forget it, you know? Like, I'm not the kind of person to tattoo stuff on myself, and I wouldn't it's not that level, but I feel like it's close. Here's a tattoo of the time I saw the fucking flying man. Like, it was awesome. Yamaguro in the US, they don't need to file a flight plan. You can just go, you can't go in restricted airspace. Huh. Ape, that's what I said to Carly. I'm like, I feel like I could make one of those. In case there's crime to fight. He registered. Bum, 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 bum. Under 500 feet in the U.S., you don't need an aeronautical license. So look at all you guys. You all like to apparently fly around on your fucking sky chairs. It was so cool. I wish I could have been close enough to see if he had like a fucking handlebar mustache and those old aviator glasses. Powered paragliding is what it's called. Well, that does not describe its majesty and awe-inspiring nature. Millmaster, I've never heard of something called Boy's Life, but I strongly feel like you need to be put on a list, right? When you talk about going looking at back issues of Boy's Life, you need to be put away for life. Boy! Oh, man. So, yeah, that was transcendent. That was a transcendent moment. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I cannot fully express how much I fucking loved it. I'm like, how dope would it be to do this kind of stuff? And, like, imagine having an intro. Like for my stream or whatever, where I'm literally flying around in a magical fan chair. Like, that's so amazing. It's so amazing. Millmaster, who the fuck is Baden Powell? Is he a relative of Colin Powell, the American military guy? Fisher, your buddy's been building a green goblin glider for cosplay with drones. You got it to be able to fly and lift him, but someone else has to control it? That's crazy. Thompson, you like chilling down by the creeks? Oh, catching some crawfish? Powered power gliding sounds like the first step to getting into the Paralympics. Well, only if you do it wrong, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what an appropriate name would be for it. He was just a flying man. It was amazing. I literally felt like I stepped through a time warp. And I'm like, what is this, like 1910 or something? Thompson, you go floating in the raft. Oh, you're making life your lazy river. All right. All right. Fair enough, buddy. Yeah, Drac, I imagine that it would be pretty surprising for them. But I would hazard a guess that I was just as much in awe. Right? I mean, I already know about all kinds of other technology, but I still found it absolutely astounding. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Boy's Life was a scouting magazine? Yeah, I know what you're scouting for, Millmaster. You can't fool me. You're looking for the boys' life stick. I was a scout, but I never had those magazines, bro. I remember Chickadee magazine. I remember that. And National Geographic. Looks like you need an ultralight pilot license to power paraglide in Canada. All right, Sam, you sent me the link. Thanks, buddy. I'll terrify Carly by telling her that I'm going to do that. She'll be afraid for me. She had a dream last night where I left her, but it was fine because I left her as Hatcher. And so she was still in a relationship with Mike. So that's still me. So it's just like, what? Meanwhile, I don't normally remember my dreams, but I remember that I had to get something from like the third floor of the school for a class that I was in college. And instead of going up to the third floor, I went outside and got in somebody's fucking truck. And then he drove me in this big, sloppy, terrifying square loop. And we ended right back up where we started. It was like, what the hell's the point of this? Dreams are fucking stupid. You know? A lot of them are just pointless nonsense. There was one where I was driving a fucking transport truck for Steven Seagal. And then I was driving the transport truck on a really fucking slippery road and slammed it through a concrete wall. And then Steven Seagal wouldn't help me fucking pay for the damages because I rented the truck on my credit card. That prick, even though I was hauling freight for him, wouldn't help me out. Steven Seagal's a fucking dick. The dream version of him didn't have my back. Millmaster, you want National Geographic fold-out maps? I'm sure you can find them in old bookstores. Hinoko used to have a bunch of the National Geographic mags. I found them interesting. You know? Liked seeing different parts of the world. I've always enjoyed nature shows and just learning about different parts of the world. Splendor, no, I had to pay. Don't even try. Fuck you. Don't even try and defend Dream Steven Seagal. I was on the hook. It wasn't like the credit card company gave me special truck insurance, fuckstick. I had to pay that. The credit card didn't. I had to pay the credit card bill. And it was big. I smashed a huge fucking concrete wall, man. It was a big problem. I was in financial dire straits and got no fucking help from that bastard. Juggling, fuck you. Fuck you for being on Seagal's side. He should have helped me. It was his fault. It was his fault. I have no idea what the hell was in the truck. It was such a dumb dream. You returned a cracked windshield rental and got a letter saying don't worry about it. Well, lucky you. Lucky you, that ain't the normal experience. And or you're making shit up. One of the two, okay? So, my dreams, my dream law, okay? And I was on the hook. So whatever happened to you in real life doesn't apply to my fucking dreams! That should be evident. Dream reality does not obey the real world, okay? But sometimes the real world can be like a dream. When a flying man just flies into fucking view out of nowhere. That was epic. That was so just unexpected and awesome. I saw a flying man today, and it blew my fucking mind. I probably would have stood there and watched it for an hour if I could. Unless you're in that movie Lathe of Heaven. Did I actually not write that down on my movie list? I don't know if I did. I better write it back down just in case, because I don't think it made it to the actual ultra movie list. There's like 2 different versions of that movie, isn't there? Mm. All right, I'm going to top up my water, and just to change up the view, I'm going to let you look at the Plinko stuff. Enjoy the Plinko board while I go get some more water. And fuck it, another edible. Tyler's all my fucking dream about Steven Seagal in the truck and then taking his fucking side. Fuck. Also told him flying, man.
Yeah, I heard you.
It was so cool.
He was so cool. I liked hearing your excitement.
It was exciting. I found that very exciting. There's a part of me that wants to try it.
It's crazy.
All right, I am returning. Whoop. Whoop. All right. Mailmaster, the 70s one is the definitive one? Okay. All right. What up, Drunkle? Yeah, it's Plinko. Break stop. You already know about the Amazon link. Don't even play, son. Don't even play. What up, Luke? What up, Bramage? Staring at Plinko, indeed. Indeed. So yeah, that was amazing. Honestly, the buddy flying around was incredible to me. There's a part of me that thinks it would be fun to do that. Petri, I wish I had had my phone with me. Neither me nor Carly had our phones because sometimes when we go out, we're just gonna chill and enjoy nature. Neither of us bring our phones, you know? It's just like, man, we're there to enjoy each other's company, enjoy the surroundings, be present in the world. Like, one of the craziest things to me was as the flying man flew by, I was staring up going, I've never seen anything like this. This guy's walking by with his cell phone. He's walking his dog. He's looking at it. And like, here's what I said. He looks up at the flying man for a second and then right back to his phone. I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is one of the most amazing things I've seen in my life. And all these passerbys don't seem to give a shit. Just like, okay, all right. I'm going to fucking drink it in. I'm going to drink it in. Splendor, what? Do you not go out without your phone sometimes? There are old videos of a guy in the US who would fly into sporting events. Oh, buddy, that sucks. Having your cards stolen is never a good feeling. I've had stuff stolen of mine before. And yeah, you can't get the stuff back. Your memories, though, when you say you can't get your memories back, of course you can. You have them still. You didn't lose memories. You lost physical objects that are disconnected from the memories. They're not the memories. Nobody came to your house and stole it from your brain. You still have all the fun that you had with that, you know? Like, if you had a sex doll and you banged it for years and then somebody came and stole it, that doesn't change all the times you banged that doll. So, the next time you're banging your doll, just think about your magic cards. It's the same thing. Splendor, you're stuck connected to work. Well, you just don't take your phone. Fuck it. I don't want to always be available for work. Just don't. Just don't. Habanera says, you know what they say about men in trees? Can't see them unless you look for them. Is that a tinfoil hat thing? What are we talking about? Bramage, did I ever play the old school 93-94 format? Yeah, I played Magic in 94, so by definition, I automatically played it. DB, you bought the Legend of Zelda Deku Tree Lego set yesterday. Isn't it like $250? Isn't it some obscene price? Also, I'm very jealous of you, by the way. That's awesome. But that thing is like crazy expensive. Although I guess that's how much Wizards of the Coast wants for a booster box now. So how much of a difference really is that? Edward, come on, buddy. Grow a pair. Be adventurous. Be adventurous. Sometimes you gotta take a trash alley Chobits doll and live that life, right? Sometimes you gotta finger switch a Chobit Chi doll. Habanero, no, I know, but just look at the way you fucking look at that saying, though. Look at what you're saying. I get what you're referencing, but look at the way you're saying it. Clayton, don't be so rough on yourself, right? You're a man. You count. You don't have to come in here going, be a man to yourself. It's all good. It's all good. Petra, you don't think you should use the sex doll simile in psychotherapy group tomorrow, but you really want to? Go for it. Fly high in the spirit of the flying man. The new Lego CEO is catering to collectors over children. Well, I'm not surprised, considering that the market to sell a lot of toys to children seems to be an ever-dwindling one, because kids have cell phones, and they can play all their games on their cellular phones and stuff. And so while they may have a mild interest in some physical toys for a little bit at the beginning of their lives, it's going to be less and less and less. So nostalgia mining older people is where the money's at, right? Kids are demanding Fortnite bucks from their parents, not Lego sets. Lego is like, hey, Billy, do you want to play with some shitty little plastic bricks? What? No. But you can build whatever you want. It doesn't look like it. It looks like I can only build particular things with these crappy plastic rectangles when I could just go ahead and play Minecraft or something else, you know? Splendor's right there too. If you're gonna get Lego for your kids, you can just buy some like bulk Lego from somebody cheap. You don't have to buy crazy Lego sets. Farky, yes, I am sure that my Flying Man story has nothing to do with Magic the Gathering. It was a completely different kind of magic. It was a transcendent experience. If you had told me watching some guy sitting on half a chair with a fan strapped to his back flying by would be amazing, I might have doubted it. But seeing it in person, I am very much convinced. It was awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome. But yeah, people being glued to their phones, that's just the way it is. You see it everywhere, right? Everywhere. People on the bus, everybody, all of it. All of it. And I mean, I like to listen to audiobooks and stuff off of my phone when I'm traveling around. I'm definitely not judging other people going, they do it, but I don't. I look at my phone too much for sure. I don't engage with the real world as much as I could, but I put in effort to appreciate the actual world around me because, especially because more and more of the stuff that I'm seeing online is just fake crap. It's all just fake, and it's not even good. It's just fake, hollow 14-second videos of nothingness. It's more and more people screaming for attention with nothing to say. It's somehow an empty void that's at the same time filled with noise, you know? Farky, what do I think is worse value, Warhammer or Magic? Magic. 100%. Warhammer is just like, hey, pay us $60, we'll give you a whole unit full of these fucking figures that you can paint and assemble and glue. And Wizards is like, give us $60 and we'll give you a collector pack and a half full of banged up bullshit fucking cards, overpowered nonsense, weak trash, cloudy fucking foils, and a set that we spent no time designing and even less time testing. So yeah, Magic's one of the biggest fucking scams under the sun now. Like, when it comes to your gaming dollars, bro. If I wasn't fucking double way balls deep in Magic, I wouldn't touch this fucking trash fire with an 80-foot pole. I would look at it and go, this is for Magoo idiots. You gonna pay $250 for a booster box of stupid fucking rectangles printed to shit? You know what I mean? But they already got the fucking hook in my mouth. What are you gonna do? Green, I don't have much of an opinion on whatnot. People want to do it, that's cool. People want to use it, that's cool. If your question is, have I thought about selling stuff on there? I'm not interested in being a merchant. I always wanted to be a fucking entertainer. So while I do have things that you can buy in terms of like merch, you can buy shirts and stuff on my Teespring, that's handled by a different company that you actually order it from, they mail it out to you, and I just get a little bit of the money, which is fine by me because I'm excited about the idea of people having my gear, but I'm not interested in running a fucking store and selling stuff. And no, I don't want to fucking sell booster packs where I got to open this pack. Now I've got to mail it out to you. Oh, look, now it got lost in the mail and all this other shit. Fuck that noise. So it ain't for me, bro. It ain't for me. Petri, what's filled with the authenticity of a man with a fan strapped to his back? I think I'm missing something. Fisher, you got the Lego D&D set on the way? Right on. They like the stuff they're making is cool. I think that the Legend of Zelda Lego set is really cool, but it's also like so far out of the range I would consider ever paying for a product like that, you know? I have a hard time buying myself impractical things anyhow. Bloomborough or Duskmorn? Bloomborough all day, every day. Bloomborough is fun. It's got the high fantasy feel to it. I enjoy the world. Duskmourn is incoherent nonsense where they want to be like, check it out, Vel'Gavoth's taking over the entire world and it's all spooky and scary and everybody's doomed. But also, here's 100 people in mint condition clothing and they're all like in 80s gear. And it's like, you told us that the house evolved like and took over the whole fucking world, and it's been that way for a long time. And in the written story, everyone's wearing like beat up bullshit except for the cult of Vagavoth. They're the only ones who can be like clean and have clothes in reasonably good repair. And then you show us fuck tons of people in there in perfect pristine clothes with ghost busting shit. Mark Rosewater saying dumb nonsense like, they came from another world. No, fuck you. You told us that Duskmourn, like Vel'Gavoth, can only open up a door to lure 1 or 2 people in from a place all at once. And you told us that Duskmourn was a place with 80s level technology. Now you're telling us there's some other unknown magic plane that we've never visited where everybody wears fucking tracksuit and has 80 level technology and builds Ghostbuster gear? Fuck you. Why are you lying to us, motherfucker? Right? Like, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Millmaster, there's 2,000 lights for a Lego Hogwarts castle. Are you just talking shit or is that real? Hanoko, I wish the Bloomborough was longer as well. Like, I wish we got another set on that world, 100%. Rain, you couldn't even remember the girl's name that's immune to the demon's effect? That's Marina. Yeah. Yeah, Habanero, you know what? I don't think you're wrong. Like, pretty much every set they make has something interesting in it, but then they turn it into an incoherent mess where you just go, all right, sure. You know? Wyatt, I don't fucking give a shit, man. I don't care. It's not about an animal set. It's about it being fucking high fantasy. I'm not going to be into Bloomborough if Bloomborough was Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. So, whatever, man. You give me a world I like, I'm going to be all in it. You give me a world that I am disinterested in, I will remain disinterested. And guess what? My opinion on the original Bloomborough won't fucking change. If they make more sets like Bloomborough, good. Because Bloomborough is the only fucking good thing they've done this year. Like, you say that until they keep making sets like that. What, instead of wacky races and space operas? Oh no, don't give me more of what actually feels like it fits with magic. Oh, please, no. Come on, man. Come the fuck on. It's real? That's a ridiculous amount of lights to have to set up. That makes me think of like putting together like actual boat models, like the big wooden ones that take forever to do all the rigging and everything. Black already how do I feel about Black getting instant enchantment removal now? They've already got the enchantment removal now for a number of years, so it doesn't feel strange anymore. And the reality is, the more Wizards pushes Commander as the main format, the more the color pie is going to be destroyed because they're going to want Commander players, no matter who they choose as their Commander, to have access to all the abilities and be able to handle any kind of permanent. So the color pie is going to become more and more diluted until it's completely meaningless. Nick, yeah, no more Karlov. They're not going to do another Markov Manor set. That's not going to happen because that set did insanely bad. So there's zero chance. But the whole point of that was to do a clue tie-in and to dump a bunch of old Capenna artwork into a set, right? So listen, Wyatt, you're not being fair. Don't you remember when they went back to Ravnica and Wizards went, we're going back to Ravnica, but it's fall this time. And then you got to see Ravnica, but some of the trees had orange leaves. Are you telling me that wasn't a big shift? Although, honestly, while I found it really annoying to go back to Ravnica, if I had known the alternative was to enter fucking Dumbfuck Junction, I would have said, yeah, let's go to can every set be on Ravnica? How about Ravnica forever? Rather than, yeah, buckaroos, beeba dooba 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 dooba. These aren't guns, by the way. Booba dooba dooba dooba. We're thunderblasting your mom right now. Like, Brent, Lego is like Magic the Gathering. It doesn't cost much to produce, but they know they can charge insane prices, so they do, right? That's the deal. That's the deal. Yeah, Petri, exactly. Night of Autumn. That totally evoked the flavor. It's fall now. Did they fall for it? Nick, yeah, there's definitely some artwork in Duskmore, and you can tell is stuff they just had kicking around. Slush artwork. Brent, yeah, it's the same. I mean, if Lego was 10 cents a piece and you got a bunch of commons that they say are worth 10 cents a piece, what's the difference between a big box of Lego and a big box of fucking bulk Magic? Same difference, right? Same difference. Splendor, is Urza considered steampunkish? I didn't think of it as steampunk. I don't know how other people did, but for me, no, not really. Urza out there blasting steam powered giraffes. Man, that flying man today, that was amazing. Yeah, McGraw, you hear Lego is more expensive than Warhammer? I don't know what kind of comparison you need to make for that to be the case, but I guess if you just like pick some random box set of Lego and compare it to a random box of Warhammer, maybe. I don't know. Warhammer seems more expensive on the surface because you have to lay out big chunks of money to build your army. But then once you've got your army, unless they do like a big codex shakeup or something like that, and you need to get a couple new units or something, you're like they Warhammer doesn't have this like forced rotation that Wizards is shoving into literally every format where they're just going to keep power creeping the cards hardcore so that you have to keep getting stuff, right? Like this whole Commander First thing has warped card design to such a ridiculous degree that a card that they changed and didn't test for Commander completely broke Modern in half, right? And they're like, we didn't even see it coming. You fucking clowns. You built this set for Modern. You didn't know this was going to break Modern? Yeah, well, look, we know we built this set for Modern, but this card here, we weren't doing it for Modern. What? Yeah, we weren't even making this for Modern, and we broke Modern with it, so we didn't know it was going to happen. It's like, that's not a good excuse, you fucking dickheads. Well, we didn't want it to give Flash because Flash makes people unhappy. Anyways, here's a commander that gives Flash in Duskmorn, and it's like, what the fuck? Splendor, yeah, Ravnica does have the, like, it does have a European feel to the architecture. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no dispute in that. Mountain Jam, you got the Leviathan box set. I'm not familiar with that one, but then again, I'm not familiar with virtually every Warhammer box set. Yeah, there's a lot of expensive hobbies out there, and it just feels like Magic has really accelerated the pace of how expensive it is, but they haven't improved anything really. They haven't improved gameplay. Like they're talking about how they want to sauce up their foils to the point where you would see them in a Japanese card shop, right? And that's because they know that their foils are fucking dog shit compared to virtually every other game out there. And they're just like, whatever. You know? You got it 2 years ago and it's been sitting on your desk since? I had a bunch of Warhammer stuff, a bunch of Warhammer models, and almost none of them got assembled. Actually, most of them stayed in the fucking box still wrapped, and I ended up just selling them off because I realized, like, I'm never going to use these, and having them sit around take up space is not what I want. So, there are some times where I miss some of those models. I would love to have the Iden at the Deepkin stuff again. I really liked the soul stealing sea elves very much. There's like a shipwreck and all that stuff. So I wish I still had those, but most of my Warhammer stuff, I don't really miss that much. Yeah, Millmaster. Modern Masters isn't for modern. $399 a box isn't premium. EDH is all we balance standard and modern sets for. I wish it wasn't true. Farky, you got a whole bunch of Necrons. You're trying to convince yourself to paint them, but you think you're going to do a bad job. Well, you only get better at painting by painting, and here's the reality. If you don't seal the models afterwards, the paint job that you put on them isn't final and you can paint over it. Just make sure you water down your paints a little so that they put a very thin coating of the paint on so that when you put another layer on, when you go back to paint them again, you don't obscure their features. But just dive in. Nobody will know. Like, the thing is, things that you're going to be shit at but nobody will see you be shit at, that's a perfect choice, right? If you do a really bad job, nobody has to see it. I put together a model that was so bad that when I was done assembling it, I put it in a bag and put it in a drawer and went, no one's ever going to see this. No one is ever going to see how poorly I made this. Fisher, you like the quality of the Bloomborough raised foils? Well, fair enough. Leviathan was the 10th edition launch that had Space Marines and Tyranids. Oh, fair enough. I was actually reading up on the Tyranids today about the different bioforms, biovores, and a number of other things. Warhammer has some fun lore. Mountain Jam, your friend introduced you to bootleg Chinese waifu cards that have panty pieces of the characters like they're baseball jersey pieces. That's amazing. That's amazing. I want some of that. That's fun. It's so goofy. Thompson, you're collecting D&D miniatures? Nice. I thought it'd be cool to own like a 3D printer and being able to print out your own models. That's pretty sweet, you know? Oh, Mountain Gem, that shit's funny, bro. Thinking about little cut up pieces of panties fucking stuck to cards. What a universe, man. It's such a different world now. Yeah, my girl, yeah, you know what? I can see actually Tyranids would be pretty easy to paint, wouldn't they? Peach Party is one of the card sets. Alright. Fair enough. Oh, Mountain Jam, there's zero chance on earth I'm fucking buying any of it. There's no chance. I don't have a budget to throw around on shit like that. The only way that I will ever see a game like that is if somebody sends me some of it. There is fucking zero chance that I'm spending any money on fucking random waifu card games, regardless of whether or not they have fucking clothing chunks, bro. The only way you're ever going to see that on a stream is if somebody hooks me up with it, because no. No way. It's fucking funny though, man. I already have some. I've got some waifu cards in the form of goddess story packs. So they're all foil too. Every card in the pack is foil. It's funny, Wizards go, these foils are like a special foil in every pack. And it's like, can you make them without beat up edges and not being scratched in the front? Well, no, we don't want to pay for quality assurance. So you just need to be excited about beat up garbage foils. And it's just like you completely destroyed the fucking market for foils. You realize that, right? Once upon a time, people actively wanted to collect your foils, and now people actively want to avoid them because they're warped and not tournament legal and beat up and scuffed. They really need to step their game up, man. Habanero says, imagine a card game where you have an anime waifu character and then you have plastic layover cards that add a layer of clothing, armor, and possible abilities. Kind of like that one Hecatome game or whatever that had the plastic overlay, right? Mountain Jam, maybe one day I'll see a waifu box appear. Well, who knows? If that happens, then we will do some hunting. It's too ridiculous, man. That would be hilarious. It's like, oh, I scored part of the butt cheek. I scored the C out of the camel toe area. Oh, that's funny. I'm gonna tell Carly about that. She'll probably get a kick out of it too. I might have to explain to her about sports cards and how they have parts of the jerseys and stuff stuck to cards too. Man, there's so many different like card games and collectible cards out there now in the world that it's impossible to be aware of all of them, you know? Hoff, you got 6,000 points orcs? Well, that sounds like plenty. They have mosaic cards where it's 9 cards you put together for a mosaic. All right, Mountain Jim, fair enough. A big old party with all your little haughty girlfriend ladies. All your waifus. Oh man. I wonder if there's like much of a market for dude versions of the waifu games, you know? I can't imagine there's nearly as many women who want to collect like dude versions of the waifu games. So if you don't have women, then you're not going to have much of a market for the dude cards, right? Maybe there's some niche ones, but I imagine the cards would be overwhelmingly waifu oriented because that's what's going to sell more. How about waifu cards that have disappearing ink when they get wet? There's an idea, man. You should go and try and sell that to some of these companies. You might get rich off of your idea, bro. Who knows? Who knows? It's like this generation of the pen where you turn it upside down and the lady's clothes falls off. They have thermal rub waifu cards? Shut up. Oh my god. No, they don't. So you put your dick on it and her clothes disappear? No way. Oh my god. That's amazing. That's amazing. The world's been passing me by, man. That's funny. That's funny. Let me use Let me use my body heat to take that dress off of you, Sarah-chan. Oh, senpai, moosh moosh. Arigato, Mr. Blast Out My Dongo. Juggling, you've been down the waifu card rabbit hole for a while. Well, fair enough, buddy. I apparently, just the tip. Just the tip, which I used to make her clothes disappear thermally. That's ridiculous, man. Emphasis on the ridiculous. Splendor's like, teach me, Seth. I want to find these on eBay. He wants to buy them. He's going to get graded ones. Don't get them slabbed because then it's harder to get the heat to sink in, buddy. Oh, that's funny. Jugglim says Senpai Haven cards. Apparently that's what you need to look for. You heard it here first, degenerates of the internet. Wife dude cards? Doo-doos? Nope, that doesn't work. Dude foos? No. Nope. Husbandos? Where if you put your thumb in the right place, you can see his fat meat. Aloe Express. We talking about lotioning up your hands. Oh man. Well, you learn surprising new facts every day. I need to get out of Magic and just into collecting big jugged cards. I can get some of those shameless statues too. Fucking buy a fucking $300 statue of some bending over anime girl. And then have Carly go, the fuck are you wasting your money on? Actually, she never says that at all. She tells me that I'm not willing to really get myself almost anything. And I'm like, well, I'm willing to spend on food and a few things. But I'm sure in her head, she'd be like, you bought a fucking $300 bent over waifu statue? What the hell is this crap? See, Juggling, that's what I said. I said it before you did. Husbando, I was right. I feel like there's probably not nearly as big a market for that kind of stuff. Millmaster, the only thing that women ever do is express admiration for me. So there you go. They admire me for my machismo and raw masculine honesty. My RMH, bro. Gets him every time. I still can't get over the panty chunks and like thermal cards. This is a rabbit hole I want to go down. Guys, somebody needs to hook me up with these weird waifu card variant stuff. That's where we need to go next. That's what we need to be doing, you know? I'm already versed in more regular style stuff. Speaking of more regular style stuff, my Paragon card is underway. The likeness of me is underway. I got extra photos requested showing it's like here's the rough sketch and here's the angle that we need you to take the pictures on so that we can do a better job rendering you on it or whatever. So I don't know. That's not the language they used. That's just my language for it. But whatever. I got some extra pictures taken, so I'm hoping by the time I go to make the Paragon video for the beginning of next month that I'll have seen what the card, like the finalized card, will look like. But even if I don't, it's underway. Juggling, I don't give a shit about no Pokemon waifu cards, bro. I don't care about no Pokemon. I want the more ridiculous stuff. I want the out there nonsense. Thermal cards. Are they good quality? Like the card stock and stuff? Do they do a good job with the printing on those? You know, the more card games I'm exposed to, the more I realize just how piss poor Magic's card quality is. Games like Force of Will and Grand Archive have really nice card quality. The backs on Grand Archive cards are fucking great. Just like Force of Will. Amazing card backs. Juglum. Oh, it's not Pokemon. It's like a knockoff of Pokemon with Pokemon chicks. All right. Lady monsters. Gotta thermal touch them all. Gotta thumb warm them all. From flying men to thumb warming, we have we've we've gone all over the place. Juglum Goddess Story. I've got some Goddess Story right now from I have no idea what the set's called because the whole fucking thing's in Chinese. But we already opened a pack of that. Mailmaster doing that research. You can get a blind box with a heat activated card waifu Goddess Story for $8. All right. Heat activated waifu cards. I didn't even know about Goddess Story until like less than a week ago. And now all of a sudden we're getting deep with the crazy tech, man. Yeah, Mago, yeah, it sounds like high tech jug hunting. Sounds like you got to be careful where you hold the cards when you're showing them off. Oops, right over her titty. Oh, this one's shaved. That's nuts. That's nuts. All right, my friends. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out. It has been fun talking with you about all the crazy, ridiculous nonsense and the epic flying man, all of it, the fun of the Plinko. So, thanks for being here. We will get together again soon. All right? So long for now. Goodbye.